Football Wife with an episode of Football Basics. Today's episode will cover the basics of the offense. We'll talk through things like offensive player positioning, plays, and movement on the field. Let's review the basic offensive formation on the field. There are 11 players on offense. At any given time, 7 of these 11 players must line up on the line of scrimmage. In this example, the 7 players on the line of scrimmage are the 5 offensive linemen and 2 wide receivers. A typical formation will have 5 offensive linemen, 1 quarterback, and 5 other players who are usually some combination of running backs, tight ends, or receivers. The combination depends on the play that the offense is running. In this particular play, the team is running a play with 2 receivers, a tight end, a running back, and a fullback, in addition to the offensive line and the quarterback. As you learn more about the game, these formations will help you figure out which player positions are on the field. The players' jersey numbers will also give you an indication of which positions are on the field, but we'll learn more about that later in another episode. The main responsibility of the offensive line is to block. They block for the quarterback so he doesn't get sacked, and they block for the running back to create holes for him to run through. Let's talk about the specific positions of the offensive lineman in this example. This guy in the middle is the center. He is responsible for hiking the ball to the quarterback and initiating the play. The guys on the outside of him are the guards, left guard and right guard. To the outside of the guards, we have the tackles, the left tackle and the right tackle. So those are some basics on the offensive line. Another thing to note about the offensive linemen is they are huge. They are those big, strong guys that you see in the grocery store and you think, that guy must play football. They're usually some of the biggest players on the team. Another fun fact about offensive linemen is they are usually some of the most intelligent players on the team as well. The quarterback's responsibility on the field is huge. Not only is he a team leader, but he's also responsible for relaying the play call to the rest of his teammates. The offensive coordinator or the head coach will call the play into the quarterback, and then he has to let his teammates know what to do for the next play. Now, it's interesting to note that football players have to learn a lot of plays, but most players just need to know what their responsibility is on a given play. However, the quarterback usually needs to know what every player's responsibility is on every play. So you can imagine NFL quarterbacks have to put in a lot of time and work studying to remember all the plays and also what everyone is supposed to be doing on a given play. The quarterback typically lines up directly behind the center. This is called under center. In this formation, when the center hikes the ball, it goes directly into the hands of the quarterback. However, there are formations where the quarterback lines up a few yards behind the center. This is called shotgun. Wide receivers typically line up out wide or near the sidelines. Their primary function on the offense is to run down the field and catch passes. However, there are a number of plays designed where the wide receivers actually have to block for their teammates or they run routes as decoys. Now, in the huddle, when the wide receivers are listening to the play that the quarterback's calling, they figure out based on the play called where they need to line up on that play. The receivers run down the field in a number of different routes or patterns depending on the play that is called. The routes demonstrated in this example are a slant, an out, and a curl. These routes are strategically timed so that the quarterback will know when the receiver is going to be open. The running back's key responsibility is running with the ball. The quarterback will often hand the ball directly to the running back, and then the running back will run behind his blockers. Remember, those offensive linemen we talked about who are creating holes for the running back. The running backs also block for the quarterbacks. Think of them as a second line of defense in case somebody gets past those offensive linemen that are supposed to be blocking for the quarterback. In this example, the running back is circled. You can see that he's lined up slightly behind and to the left of the quarterback, the yellow helmet, and to the left and slightly behind of the fullback, who's in the purple helmet. I know I'm running through this kind of quickly, but it's important to see how the players' roles work together. You can see how any given play, the quarterback, running back, wide receivers, etc., have to work together in order for a play to be executed successfully. Tight ends are an interesting position because their role varies greatly based on the play that's being called, the offensive system they're playing in, and the size and skill of the player. For instance, some tight ends can actually be used as an extra wide receiver. The San Francisco 49ers are a great example of this. Their tight end, Vernon Davis, is a very versatile player. He blocks well, but he also has great hands, has great size, and is very fast. So the 49ers often use him as an extra receiver. Now, many other tight ends are used as blockers for the quarterback or running back.
This is an example of a play utilizing two tight ends. At the top of the screen, that tight end is playing the role of a blocker. Towards the bottom of the screen, that tight end is playing the role of a receiver, and on this play, he's running a slant. So you can see, even on the same play, tight ends can play different roles.
The fullback position is not extremely common in the NFL anymore. It's kind of one of those old school positions that all teams don't even use. In fact, there are many teams in the NFL that don't even have a fullback on their roster. However, when there is a fullback on the roster, he's usually the best friend of the running back. Well, at least on the field. Running backs really like fullbacks because one of the primary responsibilities of the fullback is to block for the running back.
In this play, the fullback is circled, and he's going to be blocking for the running back, who's to his left in the blue helmet. As you can see by the arrows, the fullback will move forward to block for the running back, who's going to move laterally to his right and then hopefully upfield.
Well, thanks for watching. I hope this episode of Football Basics Offense helped you learn a little something. And if you have specific questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments and I will definitely get back to you. Thanks for watching.